Hello, nice to be with you for our series on self-leadership. And I made mention of the fact that self-leadership have four components. It has four components: self-discipline, self-awareness or self-discovery, self-management, and self-development. And so at the moment we are still talking about self-discipline, which is a subject that I love very, very much, because self-discipline is power of itself. It is power, called the power of self-discipline. And it helps us in general. It helps us to resist temptations. It helps us to be in charge of ourselves or to control our impulses. It also helps us to boost our mental toughness. So self-discipline is very, very crucial as a leader, and as we lead people, as we lead ourselves, we'll be able to lead others. It's very, very important. So anytime you are called or you are put in a position of leadership, think about your self-discipline first. As a leader, think about your self-discipline first. Because without you being disciplined as a leader, there are a lot of things that can not be accomplished, and even your life as a whole can have difficulty as you lead the people, because anytime you are put in a leadership position, you become public assets. And so basically there's nothing like a private life, right? Yeah, there's nothing like that. People see you, you don't even see them, but they see you. But it takes your self-discipline to enable you to experience those victories, to enable you also to lay down a certain foundation for people who are following you to know that yes, this person is solid, and this person knows what he's up to, and this person has been trained, built up, and this person has gone through the process, and therefore he has what it takes to lead us. He has what it takes to enable us to accomplish the purpose and the dream of the entire organization or the church. Because you don't want to follow anybody who have not been through certain stages of growth or development. He just jumped from the sky and you say you want to be your leader. Sometimes we ask people of their experiences before we follow them or before we allow them to lead us. Because like I mentioned, there's about 5 major areas of leadership that we need to have in mind. Number 1, leaders establish directions. We establish directions. Number 2, we align people. Number 3, we motivate and inspire people. Number 4, we nourish relationships. And then number 5, we empower people. We empower people. So if we are not well disciplined, it will be difficult for us to be able to take people along all these stages that I'm talking about. And so I want to share with you maybe 5 points about the benefit of self-leadership. The benefit of self-leadership is very, very crucial for us to understand that concept of self-leadership. And so, number 1, the self-leadership helps us to fulfill our dreams and our purpose in life. Dreams and purposes are fulfilled or are accomplished if you are a self-leader. Because if you are not self-leader, if you cannot lead yourself, then there's no way that your dreams, your vision, and your purposes can be accomplished. Many times we blame the devil, but I don't think it's the devil, it's ourselves. And because of ourselves, we are not able to do what is right, and then in order to be able to achieve greater heights. Number 2, self-leadership helps us to walk in integrity. Integrity is maintained in your life. In other words, predictability and also trustworthiness. So you become predictable and you become trustworthy as a person because it builds a foundation of integrity in your life. Any self-disciplined person is a person of integrity. He lives by principles, he lives by values, he lives by rules, and he lives by himself. He lives by convictions, solid convictions, and he does not bow to anything. Like I always tell people, when you haven't gotten to a certain level of life or in your leadership ladder, sometimes you take things for granted and you think things are easy. Because at a point in time, some years ago, there was this guy who came to me with a huge money, and he wanted me to do something for him. He wanted me, he wanted to give me that money so that I give him certain opportunity. That money to him is a gift. But I saw in that money as a bribe, right? You want to buy me. That's how we normally say it. And so I decided not to take the money. And at that time, not that I have money, I was hungry, I needed some money for other things. But because I have told myself that I can never be bought, I can never be bought by any, so I didn't put price tag on myself. And because I didn't put price tag on myself, I was able to forgo that, and I didn't do it. And so it takes discipline to do that, because you can see money lying there. I'm giving you as a gift, and I want you to do this and that and that and that, which I can easily do. I can easily do without any stress or anything. But I realized that no, this guy is a temptation. So self-discipline helps you to be a person of integrity. Integrity is maintained in your life. Predictability and what trustworthiness is very, very important as a leader, as you walk along. Also, number 3, able to finish our calling and ministry well in a glorious way. Because if you don't take care, somewhere along the line, in the middle of the road, you will miss it, and then you are not able to finish very well. The beginning of the thing doesn't matter, but the end. It's how you finish that matters. So it's very, very important. If you are self-disciplined, it will be able to help us to finish very well our calling and our ministry in a glorious manner. Because sometimes people start very well, they are not disciplined morally, they are not disciplined, and certain even spiritual life, they are not disciplined. Their walk with God is not a disciplined lifestyle, and therefore somewhere along the line they get to some point they think they have reached, and therefore they lose hold of everything, and then they miss it. It's very, very important. And then the number 4, it brings stability and structure into a person's life. Self-discipline brings stability and structure in your own life. That means you live by certain principles, you live by, I mentioned it earlier, you live by certain values that you have vowed that this is the way I'm going to lead my life, and I'm not going to bow to anything. I won't bow to bow, right? And so it's very, very important for you to understand that when you have self-discipline, it brings stability and structure in your life as a person. People will know it, friends will know it, your wife will know it, your family people will know it. Some years ago, when I used to help in some organization, anytime the organization is receive any big amount of money, they want me to keep it, because they know, as for me, I won't mess it around, right? And I did not mess it around, because what is not for me is not for me. What is not for me is not for me. My yes may be yes, and my no is my no. And sometimes people don't like that. If you don't go by that self-discipline, you are going to lose in the future. And then the next point I would say is that self-discipline builds good habit and character in you. Self-discipline builds good habit and character in you. And like I always try to define for you, character is made up of 4 things. Number 1, your principles. Number 2, your values. Number 3, your morals. Number 4, your ethics. These 4 things help you to build a strong and a solid character that is worthy of emulation. So, a self-discipline builds habits, good habit. Good habit, good behavior, good attitude, and that develops your character. And so we have to come to terms to understand the benefit and the importance of self-discipline. And I hope to continue from there for you next week, so that we will begin to walk in them one by one. We want to leave a legacy behind. We want to be a solid people. We want to raise a new generation. We want to be what God wants us to be. We don't want shortcuts. Shortcuts are always dangerous, Don't be a shortcut person. Process of development, process of growth is very, very crucial. And it's not just an event. So leadership is not just an event. Leadership is a process. And I hope you embrace the process. No matter what, in the end it will pay. And you will rejoice. And you will say, yes, this is what God has done through your life. And you have left legacy behind. And your name will never be forgotten. God bless you, and I love you. Bye-bye.